WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We thank our sponsors that make it all possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the line right now is Jerry Culp, the Executive Director for the Macon County Conservation District. How are you today, Jerry?
Good. How are you today, Tim?
I'm doing super well. I appreciate you for taking the time and being here with us. There's always things going on over there in the Macon County Conservation District, many parks. So I want to know about, we got some history to go over a little bit here, which is always blowing my mind. You'll talk to me a little bit about the Floodles thing going on over there.
So this program that's coming up, it's a kind of like a documentary or a video that kind of explains what Illinois seasonal type wetlands used to be, and in combination with agriculture in Illinois. So if you look at farm fields after rain, you'll see puddles out there and wet spots, and those used to be habitat for not only local wildlife, but also wildlife like that migrates and nesting areas for these during certain seasons when those puddles and low spots stay wet. So the opportunity to learn about this, and I guess it's a great connection to what we actually do in the field, our programs do, because there's some properties that we're working on right now that we want to restore some of these seasonal wetlands. And this program kind of walks you through some of those those depressions and those seasonal wetlands and what the benefits are for our wildlife in the area.
Wow. So we're kind of experiencing some new habitats that were once used in the past, and I'm probably trying to recreate those a little bit. What does that mean for the future of your operations? Now you kind of said it a little bit, but you find this piece of information out. Now what do you want to do with the Macon County Conservation District?
Well, so what our goal is since we're a pretty big agriculture community, and these low wet spots are. Our opportunities, the Macon County Conservation District has the opportunity to recreate these on our sites. So we produce a habitat, reproduce or recreate these habitats, or restore the habitats that once were there. And we look at properties that potentially had these low wet spots already, so that we can go in and do a restoration project and which is always better than trying to recreate something. If we can restore it to what it was, it'll be more sustainable. And so we look at properties. Matter of fact, we acquired 236 acres last year that is exactly this. And we're looking at doing the restoration of some pothole type prairies or seasonal wetlands to recreate that habitat. And so it really ties into what we're doing, and people will actually be able to see it. They'll see this, maybe if they attend this program, in a couple of years, they'll start to see what that really looks like, or what it used to look like before. And so it's kind of they tie right together what we try to do out in the field. So it's really interesting.
That's really awesome. And I want to get into in a little bit about all of the conservation success bringing back animals. But for the wetlands in particular, what kind of animals are you looking to have return?
Well, a lot of animals will use seasonal wetlands for not only habitat for nesting and things like that for certain times of year, but there's a lot of animals that will use that year round. Whether it rains and it gets wet, and they will use it temporarily or during the times when it's wet, but they also create their habitat and stay there, which is habitat that we don't have a lot of in Illinois, central Illinois, especially when we start recreating this or restoring it. We start to see different types of species come in, from salamanders to birds that are local birds, but birds that also migrate, that use those on their migration route, which is, Illinois is a pretty big path for migration, with all the not only the creeks and rivers and stuff like that, but these seasonal areas that stay wet in the spring for a certain period of time and maybe dry up in the summer, but also kind of come back in the fall a little bit when migration is happening again. So there's It's really diversifies our habitat for not only local wildlife, but wildlife that move through in certain times of the year.
Sure. It's amazing that we still that nature is able to bounce back like that, and a habitat is created, and the animals will come. And this is kind of a question that I had with all of the agricultural land that we have set aside in Illinois. Has that absolutely reduced the wetland possibility within our state?
Well, I mean, yeah, Illinois is a big agricultural community, right? They're great. I mean, the by turning over the which have deep, rich soil, 3 feet deep, whatever, how deep it is, it's just good, rich soil that has been building for years and years and years. As the transition of from winter to spring and fall, and you continue to get those wet areas, but it doesn't. But there's the opportunities out there are to recreate this or restore this or there, working with the community, and it seems to be working well. We have some landowners that really want to see that happen, and they like to work with the conservation district to do that, and so we kind of work with them in the process of acquiring the land, and then after that we work with other agencies to try to find the funding to do the restoration work. So I see there's a lot of, I think, people that want to see that happen, and they see the need, they see the benefits of it. Not only benefits for the wildlife, but the benefits of recreating those seasonal wetlands can filter water and clean water before it gets to our water courses, and especially in Central Illinois, we're using, like in Decatur, they use the lake water for domestic water, and so cleaning, anytime we can clean and filter out sediment and chemicals out of the water before it gets to our water courses, the better the water quality is going to be for us to use to drink. So there's a lot of benefits aside from just wildlife that we benefit from recreating these seasonal type wetlands and these prairies, upland prairies, and oak savannas that really do a great job of filtering out a lot of sediment and stuff as water runs over the land and through these properties before it gets to the water courses. So
Well, I'm sure one factor that many people have not thought of is the natural purification of water, not purified, of course, completely, but getting rid of that sediment a little bit. I loved how you explained it right there, and all of that process just gets it a little bit cleaner before getting to that final lake destination. That's really amazing. And we've been talking about conservation success here, and you told me that we've been seeing animals that we have not been too used to seeing around the Midwest or in Illinois. Tell me a little bit about the reintroduction or the reappearance of these.
yeah, so a lot of times when not only the conservation district like us, but the DNR and other conservation districts are always trying to recreate habitat for animals that are wildlife that are native to Illinois, and we're starting to see larger numbers. So turkeys coming back, in certain areas of Illinois. Bobcats coming back. We start to see a little more people are, when you have conversations around the community, you're starting to see people have conversations about they saw a bobcat or they knew somebody that saw a bobcat, which is great. And then, of course, eagles. We're always looking for providing the habitat for eagles. They're kind of picky in a way where they want to nest. In and away from activity, so they create several nests and they pick the best one, but they maintain nests. But there's a lot of habitat being created through all these conservation areas in Illinois that are providing the habitat, and we're starting to see numbers grow, which is great, right? Because when we look at the cycle of natural resources, we need those animals to continue to build and work with the rest of our habitats and natural resources to kind of balance them, right?
Sure.
So it's great to create and see the numbers increase. I know sometimes people don't like to hear the word bobcat, but they are a part of Illinois, right? And they need a home too. And so providing that home and providing that habitat for them gives them a place to be and not be a danger, or not that they're a danger because they're a smaller cat, but what's the word, would be the presence of them kind of make some people uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So you give them the habitat to live where they can, and they don't like to be around people either, right? So they like to do their own thing, and people, they run from people or whatever, and so giving them that habitat gives them the opportunity to live their life, right?
Sure. I am one of those people that heard the word bobcat and got a little bit frightened. But hey, yeah, like you said, they got to have a habitat too, and we got to take it as a positive that the bobcats are coming back. Mr. Culp, we're going to take our short little break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about some programs and events making their way to the Macon County Conservation District. This has been Jerry Culp, the Executive Director of the Macon County Conservation District. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn and beans higher at this hour. Wheat trading steady. December corn up 472.5. March corn up 3.5, 491. May corn 501.25, up 3.5. January beans 13.79 3/4, up 12.5. March beans 13.95, up 11 3/4. May beans 14.05.5, up 10.5. December wheat 5.44, up half a penny. March wheat up 3/4, 5.71 1/4. December bean meal 461.50, that's up $1.30. December bean oil 53.54, up 43 cents. In the livestock market, January feeders 229.75, down a dime. December live cattle up 7 cents, 175.55. December lean hogs 68.77, down $1.57. Energy market at this hour, January crude oil 77.37, down 46 cents. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Hey farmers, our environment-friendly liquid fertilizer will help you stretch that fertilizer dollar further, a lot further, without compromising on results. Experience application versatility, lower input cost, and healthier crop yields. Don't just fertilize, mineralize. Product and crop protocol information is available at blackcoralminerals.com. blackcoralminerals.com.
This is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Are you looking for a great CD rate? If you are, TCCU has a new CD special that is just what you are looking for. We are currently offering a 7-month share certificate with an annual percentage yield of 5.05% and a minimum deposit of $1,000. This great rate is for a limited time. For more information, please contact us at any of our convenient locations or online at tccu.org. Dividends will be compounded monthly. A penalty for early withdrawal may be imposed. Fees could reduce earnings on the account. Member NCUA.
Fall means being active to attend your favorite festivals and bonfires. Let Taylorville Care Center help you get back into doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, recover and return home with Taylorville Care Center's therapy program. Great medical care with private rooms. Family and friends can come by to encourage your recovery. For Taylorville Care Center's therapy program, call 824-9636, 824-9636, caring for the community for over 50 years.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shawless Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Today, we're sitting down with Jerry Culp, the Executive Director of the Macon County Conservation District. It's been a great conversation so far. Let's thank our sponsors that make it all possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. And Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Let's get right into our second half here. We got some great holiday events coming on our way here. The Raccoon Candy Cane Kids Hike. A lot of K's and C's in there. Tell me about this one, Mr. Culp.
Yeah, this is kind of a fun one. Kids get to learn a little more about raccoons, but to entice them to learn a little bit more, they get to go out on a hike, and they find goodies along the way as they learn more about raccoons. Since they're such a big part of, natural or our conservation areas. Typically we'll see quite a few raccoons wandering around, but it's good for kids to understand and know a little bit more about them. But on top of that, they get to find some goodies. So
that's even more fun.
That's happening on the 16th.
Cool.
Saturday the 16th. So
all right, December 16th. What time are they looking at for that?
10 a.m. it starts.
Fun. Okay. So usually we know them as the trash pandas. They're always out at night, digging into people's trash, but they really do have a normal spot out there in nature. They're nocturnal. Is that right?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They do a lot of their work at night and evenings, and but we'll see them occasionally moving through during the day as they're trying to find a place to sleep or something.
That sounds like it's going to be a fun time. What are they doing at night? Are they collecting things, or what's their process?
Collecting food, like they're eating,
Yeah.
Collecting food, things like that. And then, so they can prepare to rest during the day, I assume.
Sure.
So, they're pretty busy, active, and we see them, during the day a lot. They're not necessarily they will be active during the day at times. If they're hungry or they're looking for food and things like that, they will be active during the day to get that food and stuff. But yes, they're typically active at night. Yeah.
Fun. All right. So hopefully the kiddos get to see some raccoons moving out there for the Raccoon Candy Cane Kids Hike on December 16th at 10 a.m. Is there any requirements for age? Are we trying to keep it under a certain age?
I don't think for this
Okay.
one is there any requirement for age. I know they're looking for a minimum number of people so
Sure.
we can get out there and have groups of people learning about this
Sure.
the raccoons.
And any registration process for that?
Yeah, they can register online.
Cool.
Previous to December 15th. Anytime they can go online and they'll find it on our website so they can register.
Perfect. And then there's another one for the kiddos, the preschool bird watching. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, that's a program for young kids that so they can kind of get introduced to learning a little bit about birds. We do a lot of, we have a bird window here at the Nature Center, and that provides a lot of opportunity for kids to learn about birds and to get closer to the birds. But they also will probably go outside and of the Nature Center and hang out and try to find different birds and identify them and things like that. So it's kind of an introduction, gives an opportunity for us to teach kids a little more about nature and wildlife, and birds are a great opportunity because you can see them often when you're in the outside. So it's a great program, and that is on December 17th at 2 p.m. Same thing. You can register online for the program. And it's, like I said, it's a great opportunity for kids to learn a little more about wildlife.
Awesome. Are these there's a couple different parks within the Macon County Conservation District. Are these ones at the Rock Springs Nature Center by chance?
Yes, these are at Rock Springs.
Perfect. Yes. All right. Both of them. And the December 16th, December 17th, back-to-back days. You'll get started with the Raccoon Candy Cane Hike for the kids and preschool bird watching. That sounds like it's going to be a great time. We only got a little bit of time left here, Mr. Culp, but literally a minute. But in terms of nature preserves throughout the state, tell us just a little bit about why you got areas closed off in the name of nature.
Well, when you have a nature preserve, the idea is to reduce the amount of impact that happens in a nature preserve, to allow it to grow like it was before we arrived, basically. Sure. Right? So old growth forests and prairies and things like that, any activity to impact what's happening there, is the idea is to keep that out. So we don't allow, there's several nature preserves around the state of Illinois. We have one nature preserve in Macon County, the Boyd and Sangamon Nature Preserve, that we have, and there's not a lot of activity allowed in that conservation area, but the opportunity came up to acquire land adjacent to it recently, that we're working on it. We could receive a grant to acquire land adjacent to it, which will allow the public in to a certain point so they can see what we're trying to do by protecting these nature preserve areas. And important enough that
that's great. Mr. Culp, we are out of time. I am so sorry. I really appreciate you explaining that for us, and I hate cutting you off, but Mr. Culp, I really appreciate you taking the time today.
All right, no problem.
All right, that's
Anytime.
absolutely. That was Jerry Culp, Executive Director of the Macon County Conservation District. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W3